So first off, I guess my first question would be for Rose, which is, what was it like sort of playing one of the main and only humans in this, film that's about the X-Men and the mutants?
It was, at the time, I think I was gloating a little because I didn't have to get to makeup until 7 in the morning, whereas Nicholas Hoult would be like, I was up at 2, and I'd be, getting my blue head on. But I'm sure I'll have mutant envy when I see the movie. But I loved the character of Moira. She was so feisty, and I loved her progressive thinking with mutants and her kind of teaming up with Professor X. And she was super cool and great in the comics as well.
Mm-hmm. And for Lucas and Zoe, for you guys, what was it like playing these mutants who, in the later X-Men films, when we see mutants discovering their powers, mutants are already known at that point. So it's a very different experience. So what was it like for you guys playing these characters who more or less, had to wonder, were they the only ones?
I mean, I think it made it really interesting for me as an actor because it kind of raises the stakes a bit, and there's such a relief, I'm sure, for each of our characters when we meet Eric and Charles, and I just think it made it a little more interesting for me. But
I think you answered that question differently than I heard it. So can you repeat that again?
Oh, no problem.
But I've also got a bad habit of not listening to the questions. So
it's been a problem all day.
No, my question was just what it was like playing these mutants who, at this point, mutants aren't known worldwide. It's not known that there are other mutants out there.
Yeah, it was very good. Yeah, wow, I completely misheard it then. I think it's cool, especially because my character at that point, he's, Havok has historically never been able to control his power, and that's what's made him different from his brother because he has more potential, but the lack of control has made him a liability. And that just tears him apart because he's killed all these people on accident. Not that he wouldn't love to kill some bad guys, but he didn't even mean to do all these things. Coming from that place has got to be a huge relief when Xavier and Magneto come and rescue him. Mm-hmm. And I think it's cool because then he just did all this messed up stuff, and someone comes as a savior, pulls him out, and introduces him to a whole group of people just like him.
Mm-hmm. And how would you both describe then, once you do realize that you aren't alone and there are these other mutants out there, how would you describe your characters' views on what mutant kind could or should be?
Well, obviously we have our characters have different thoughts on that. I mean, I think the reason Angel kind of does go with Eric and Charles is out of the excitement of not being the only mutant. And then when she meets Shaw and kind of sees that there are other options about how you go about being a mutant in a world of humans, obviously she, I think, comes from a more abusive background and is kind of fed up and takes the path of violence and aggression.
I think Alex doesn't want to be isolated. He doesn't want to be this, freak. I'm sure as some of the humans would call him, but he wants that sense of camaraderie. I mean, he's always been he was a star football player in the comics. He was a friendly guy. And although he does have a dark side to him, I think that's why she sees these other options, and I see the camaraderie, this company that I wanted, and I can finally have it. That's why I stick there.
Mm-hmm. And Rose, sort of on the flip side of that, Moira in the comics has always been a great ally to mutant kind. Mm. And how does meeting characters like Eric and Charles, how does that inform Moira's view of mutant kind and how it can coexist with humanity in the film?
Well, she's, like I said earlier, I think she has hope. She wants them to live together. She believes they can help each other. She wants them to coexist and they can be assets to one another. And immediately, Magneto is so suspicious of her, and there's this tension between them because he doesn't trust her, and and she's the whole time trying to fight for that cause, right up to the very last minute when she's screaming on the plane, don't bomb, please, there's people on this, don't. She's trying to protect them, and so I love that about her, that you need people like that who believe that who have hope, otherwise we'd all just go around murdering each other. Right?
There's a lot of philosophy and wisdom in there.
Oh.
And then for for all of you, I guess, how much did each of you go back to the original comics to sort of draw elements of your characters from those interpretations?
What?
I mean, I think we all
I think
did.
we all
Yeah,
did,
we all
yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
first it's like it'd be dumb not to.
Yeah.
And then we were very lucky though. When we got to Pinewood, when we got to London, we were handed like these giant folders that they had put together for us with pretty much every episode that your character's ever been in, which I think we all would have done ourselves, but it was kind of handed to us, which was nice.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, it was an actor's dream, really, because you're always like, what's my backstory? And then I was like,
Yeah.
here's your backstory.
Exactly. Seriously,
And it's like,
know
I
your
went to
backstory.
another planet, and then I died, and then I came back, and then he's not my son, and we got married.
I know, I'm like, I'm sleeping with someone named Beak that has a...
Exactly.
Oh, didn't know that was my type.
Yeah.
Excellent. Are we
We
close
have
to...
time for one more if you want.
Oh, time for one more? Excellent. Well, I guess then for Lucas, in the comics, one of Alex's defining traits has always sort of been his relationship to his brother
Right.
and his sort of inferiority complex to his
Yeah,
brother.
definitely.
So given that, Scott isn't in this film and you didn't have that to play off of, how did you bring some of those elements from his character into the movie?
Well, I tried to, I mean, I haven't even seen what I did in the movie yet, so we'll see if any of this came across. But I definitely did try to, because we leave it open. And I try to put some ambiguity in there. Like, obviously I've had some issues, but where are they coming from? And maybe it is that, but, in the movie they don't ever say that. They just say it came from a foster family and that I've killed people. So, but we can always fill in the blanks with more later. But yeah, I did realize this, and then try to kind of portray it just underneath what I would actually say. But we'll see how that worked out.